Hello, welcome to Comic Connection Podcast. This is Connor.
And I'm Quinn.
And this is our special guest today, Mom.
Hi!
So, we are here today to cover, we're parting from our normal schedule, and instead of recapping comics, we are going to discuss some super moms of Marvel and DC, and our mom is going to rank them. I've brought 5 moms, Quinn's brought 5 moms.
Our mom gets to be the final factor. The mother of all mothers. She gets to decide
the best mother.
The best mother. Our mother is the arbiter of every mom in comic books. She gets to decide who is good and who is bad. And this is not obligatory. This is not objective. It is 100% correct.
This is not
whatever mom says is not opinion-based. It is fact. She has made her decision, and that is the decision forever. And we expect Marvel and DC to either apologize for what they have done. If they made a bad mom, they must apologize. If they made a good mom, good job. Good job. Mom gets to decide. Our mom gets to decide.
All right. So let's start with some small talk. Mom, who is your favorite DC superhero?
All right. Controversial, because my favorite superhero, even though I've always loved Superman, my favorite superhero is Bizarro. He tried so hard to be like Superman. He tried so hard to be the superhero. He wanted to save people. He wanted to do things that he thought were good, that he saw things, and nothing ever worked out for him. That's so sad.
So I will say
he needs hugs.
He does. I will say in some of the more recent comic books, there's a comic book called Red Hood and the Outlaws. That Red Hood is one of the Robins, and one of the Red Hood and the Outlaws teams, which is a good team, they're superheroes, does have Bizarro on it. So he gets to be a superhero with... It's actually a pretty cool team because it's Red Hood, who's one of the Robins, Artemis, who's an Amazon, so like a Wonder Woman kind of figure, and then Bizarro is kind of like the Superman figure in that team. They're kind of like they're like the outcast versions of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
That's all he ever wanted.
And it's really cute. It's really cute. Maybe one day we'll have her on and we can read one of those.
That'd be fun.
My poor sweet little baby.
Yeah, we'll read one of those. We'll recap one of those for Mom in like a future episode.
Yes. And then who's your favorite Marvel superhero?
You know, I gotta go with the old classic Nightcrawler. You know, he had to really struggle against, his upbringing, all of the torture of people wanting to, kill him because there was no way for him to blend in. You know, lots of superheroes can easily blend in. They can easily, hide who they are. He had no hiding who he was. And all of the crap he had to put up with, and the fact that he was so loving to his fellow man, so, just genuine. That's a hard thing to come by.
Yeah. All right, should we get into ranking?
Yes, and I'm going to start because I want to start with DC is very bad at moms. DC, a lot of the moms, what I want to try to get here, what we both want to try to get was like superheroes who became moms, and that was a part of their comics in some way. DC has almost none of that. And if there is someone that I just haven't found, I did a lot of research on it. I tried to find one. If someone in the comments are like, there's this mom that I forgot or whatever, too bad. Because what I could find is very little. A majority of what DC has of moms is like some superhero who's normally like a boy, like a male superhero. Normally we'll just have like a mom figure whose job is just to be mom and just gets to be a mom, and that's it. And normally they're just like generic mom who like loves them and supports them, and that's wonderful, and I think it's great. But that's pretty much all we got. So this is probably going to be really fast. I do have one really weird one in here that is going to be really difficult to explain. And I'm going to try my best. So first I have 2 for 1. I went with Martha's, Kent, and Wayne as number 1. Because partially because of the best line in any DC movie ever.
Where's Martha?
Why'd you say that name? So, Martha Kent, Superman's mom.
Great mom.
Perfect. She's a wonderful mom.
Wonderful
mom. She is the OG mother that is just a mom in DC. She's the OG good mom in DC Comics. She is married to Jonathan Kent. They live on a farm. They can't have a baby. And one day, miracle baby from heaven, Superman comes from the sky.
Yeah. Falls in their lap.
Falls into their farm. And they raise him as their own. And they have a little super baby. And they love him. And they raise him. And she's just like good mom. She is a good, great mom. Martha Wayne, famously dead.
Ever.
Worst mom because she dies.
Well, not because she dies, but
okay,
come on. Let's walk through this dark alley.
I'm going to blame Thomas for that decision.
Death row.
But yes, they do go through Crime Alley with their tiny child. And let me tell you, it gets worse because I am going to bring up the Flashpoint Martha Wayne. Sorry, the Flashpoint Martha Wayne. So Flashpoint is a famous comic book where the Flash goes to an alternate universe where his mother's alive and he doesn't have powers. And he tries to find Batman, and Batman is Thomas Wayne. Because in this world, when they went through Crime Alley, their 8-year-old son was murdered instead of them. Which in this universe made Martha Wayne go absolutely insane, and now she is the Joker. So we have Martha's Kent and Wayne, and they are together. So I guess you're going to have to figure out how to rank them. You have best mom, and what you think is terrible mom for dying.
So you got an anchor mom.
So you gotta.
It's not the fact that she died. It's like she was. I don't even know. It was like she was playing with death.
Crime Alley is a crazy place to decide to bring your child. But everyone makes mistakes.
Let's go
bring your child. Go yourself.
Yeah, I don't think I would go through anything called Crime Alley. So you have both of the Marthas there. Now we have Mara, and I almost want to say a trigger warning for this one. So Mara, you know who Mara is, right?
Yeah, she raised Aquaman and...
No, she's not raised Aquaman. She's Aquaman's, girlfriend.
Yes, no, you're right.
Yes.
Okay.
She kind of is, woman Aquaman, and she has all the powers.
Of his mother.
Yeah,
who raised the two boys.
Yeah, not them. Not Aquaman's mom. This is Aquaman's girlfriend.
Yes, his wife.
And they eventually get married. So they get married, and they have a baby, who they name Arthur Jr., who they do call the Aqua Baby, which is really funny to me. So they have Aqua Baby.
And we're not surprised that he becomes a supervillain?
No, that's not what happens.
I'm just joking.
Worse. I'm sorry, Mom. No, it's actually...
Aqua Baby.
Aqua Baby is terrible. But what happens to him is even worse. So almost immediately, as a baby, I'm like, it's really bad. Trigger warning. Aqua Baby does get abducted. He does get kidnapped by Black Manta.
Okay, no surprise
And
there.
Black Manta does poison him, and he does die as a baby. This baby gets murdered, which makes Mara go insane. She just has, major mental illness throughout the rest of the lifespan of this kind of
continuity. At least she just doesn't
continuity.
Go on happy.
No, that's great. Yeah, so it ruins her. So her child gets murdered, and it's kind of said that if he was full Atlantean, because Aquaman isn't, that the poison wouldn't have really killed him. And I guess that's, I don't know if that's a great thing for Black Man to be like, well, I didn't know he wasn't full Atlantean. He shouldn't have totally died.
That 0.25% damn
really
dirty
fucked him
human
up.
Just screwed you over.
Really screwed him over. So so they do get divorced, and then Aquaman does die, and then Blackest Night happens. It's a lot. So that's Mara's journey into motherhood and away from motherhood in about a few months. He is the baby. I want to make it painfully clear. It is the baby the whole time. I think there's another part where, during the kidnapping, Aquaman, loses his... Or in a different continuity, the baby gets kidnapped and he doesn't die, but Aquaman, loses the hand, like a shark eats his hand off because of it. It's kind of insane. Okay, so third I put the one that's going to be crazy. So we have Donna, Laurel, in parentheses, Donna, Laurel, Lance / Drake. So you're both going to have to really hold up for me on this. Because Donna Lance / Donna Drake is both kind of her one person, but also two people, and one is a mother of the other person. Okay, so hold with me. So we first see Dinah is Black Canary. We first see her in like really early on comic books, and she's married to Larry Lance. So she's Donna Drake.
Dinah, right?
Yeah.
Not Donna.
You
Dinah.
can call her Donna.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's not Donna. It's Dinah.
Okay. At first I thought you were
sorry.
talking about a completely
Like
different
someone's in the
person.
kitchen
Sorry.
voice, not-
Yes, I'm so sorry. It's so confusing that it's really hard to talk about it all. Okay, so Dinah Drake is married to Larry Lance. She is Black Canary.
Okay.
At some point, they have another Black Canary who's Laurel Lance, and at some point they're kind of just like, that's Dinah's daughter. But then also they're like, Laurel doesn't exist, it's just Dinah, and she is one person, Black Canary. Then they decide that they're on two different worlds. There's one world that has Dinah, who has a daughter, and she's a mother and has the daughter, Laurel, and they're both Black Canary together. And for all intents and purposes, she's a great mom. They're Black Canary together. They both have a canary cry for two different reasons. The first, Dinah, she has a canary cry because she's like born with it. It's her superpowers, or she's like cursed by a wizard.
Of course.
Those are the two
ways to get powers.
backstories. Is she's cursed by a wizard, and then she has it. And then when the worlds like collide, it was that she was one person, and she was married to Larry Lance, but then she's like in love with Green Arrow. And then that kind of goes away, and she was never married to Larry Lance, and she's still Dinah Lance. And the Drake goes away. And that's kind of what we have now. We have Dinah Lance today, married to Green Arrow, in love with Green Arrow. So she is her mother and not her mother. She is two women and one woman in one.
Sounds like there's too many authors in the
Yeah, I
kitchen.
think that's what happened. So now you have her.
Too many authors in the kitchen not knowing what the
her
other
own.
one's doing.
She's her own mom. They really fucked that one up. It's a real weird situation there. So, but again, when she did have a daughter, they were very close. They both were Black Canary together. They both, there's some really, really cute panels of them. And again, they look the same age because no one could decide who the fuck was who. There are really cute pages of them, like, dressed the same, like, fighting crime. It's really cute. They're really good daughter and mother together. I guess because they're the same person. And that's beautiful. Okay, next I have Talia al Ghul. Talia al Ghul has a son with Bruce Wayne Batman named Damian Wayne. He's the worst child in all of comic books. He's terrible. But that's not what this is about. This is about Talia as a mother. Talia raises him in the Assassin's Guild to be an assassin. Probably not good mothering. Probably not great. She then gives Bruce Damian, but it's kind of a ploy to be like, come and help the assassins. But he doesn't, obviously. But what she also does at this point is she does clone Damian, but as like an adult. She makes an adult version of him that like hangs around her and is like a bodyguard, and it's kind of weird. And I think he dies. I think he totally
still a
dies.
child,
So
but
he's
she
a child,
clones him into an
and
adult.
she clones him into an adult. Batman has the child, and he's now Robin, and he sucks. Again, remember, he sucks. And she has adult version, and I do think the adult version dies. I'm like 90% sure he dies.
I remember her thinking he's become too soft in Batman's care or something.
Yeah, that stuff like that happens.
Taking care of him,
Yeah, they have stuff like that every so often. She's just kind of like a bitch. She sucks. And Damian also sucks. And it's a bad situation all around. So there's her. And then we have Lois Lane. Lois and Superman have a son together who they named John Kent. And the most recent thing is he's in Super Sons, where him and Damien like do things together. And by all accounts, John Kent is just like a really, really cute little 8-year-old. He's adorable and perfect. He has Superman powers, and it's really cute. And Lois Lane again takes the role of Martha Kent. She's just like good mom. She's just like good mom, nice mom. Not much to say about her. She's protective of Jonathan, but obviously not too protective since he's going out and doing superhero things. She's a good mom. Not like Talia al Ghul, who also is in Super Sons because like her son is in it and she sucks. But Lois Lane, good mom.
All right.
All right. Let me start with my moms.
First, I want you to describe how Marvel has good moms. Like
Marvel has some great moms. I picked some that have some complex storylines. I've picked some adoptive moms. I've picked some moms that some would consider evil.
And Marvel lets moms be superheroes first, and if they are superheroes, they don't immediately murder their babies in front of them. Sometimes they do, I'm sure, but not. They don't have one mom that's a superhero, then they kill her. Or in another DC thing, they don't let a mom be a mom and then be like, actually, never mind, you are your child. You are one person. You are one human now.
All right.
I'm ready.
So I'm going to start with the Inhuman Crystal. She is part of the Inhuman royalty line. She falls in love with and marries fellow Avenger Quicksilver. They end up having a baby together. And at the time, Crystal was a very powerful Inhuman in her own right. And Quicksilver was a very powerful mutant. And they came together and formed a beautiful union and had a beautiful daughter, and their powers worked so well that they created a normal human girl. Their powers kind of PEMDASed and cancel each other out, and then the Inhuman part and then the mutant part kind of just went away, and they just have a normal human kid.
That's perfect.
I was horrified you were going to tell me that, like, the baby was born and the mom dropped her and she shattered her or something.
No. Oh, horrific. I just thought of another mom. Oh.
Nope. You have your 5. You have your 5.
Shit.
Maybe that could be next Mother's Day.
Okay, yeah, next Mother's Day, I got another one.
But I'm not going to do DC next Mother's Day unless DC gets their shit together.
There's enough Marvel moms that we can, and I can do some deep pulls. So Quicksilver kind of goes a little crazy, gets mind controlled a bunch, doesn't like that their daughter is a human, and so eventually Crystal gets their marriage annulled, and it's like, by the way, I'm taking the kid and leaving, and then she kind of just goes away. And you occasionally see her, and she's always with her daughter. Crystal eventually gets married to Ronan the Accuser.
Okay, I was gonna say she's a good mom, except then she went from like one crazy husband to like a
she did it for like peace, but like deep down she did it for power. She was like, I want to be a fucking queen. So,
Ronan the Accuser is the craziest husband to have. Yeah. Except it is Lee Pace in the movie, so I wouldn't.
You gotta love him.
I wouldn't say no if it was Lee Pace. You have to hand mom the
mom.
So
here is Crystal. Now,
unless it's Lee Pace and Foundation. He's a little.
All right. I'm going to kind of go around my list. Next, we have Sue Storm. She's one of the first super moms. Her and Mr. Fantastic have a baby named Franklin Richards, who originally was a Omega level mutant, very powerful. And then in, I think, the 80s, she gets pregnant again and has a miscarriage, and it's really terrible. And in the 90s, Chris Claremont was like, nope, she mysteriously had the baby and it grew up in another dimension and Dr. Doom raised it, and Valeria Richards is the most smartest woman on the planet, and Mr. Fantastic and Sue take her in and they just have a daughter now. And they kind of just let Dr. Doom stay her godfather. And so they'll kind of have conflicts, and then Valeria will be like, hey, Dr. Doom, like, hey, like, hey, father figure, and he's like, hey, girl, and then they kind of just chill for a little bit, and I think that's very cute.
Marvel seems more fun right now.
Just wait.
Not only that, but wasn't Sue Storm pretty much the mom figure of the entire Fantastic
Of the Marvel
Four
Universe,
anyway?
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's Marvel's mom, 100%. So it makes sense that they had kids together. That's nice. I like that.
And then I also have a pairing. I have lesbian murder mommies Mystique and Destiny.
Yay! We famously love Mystique and Destiny, who are evil mothers. They're evil mothers.
No, Nightcrawler's my favorite, and I'm so mad at Mystique for dropping the ball on that one.
So the
disappointing.
original story is Mystique and Destiny are Rogue's adoptive mothers, and they raise her, and they do crimes together. And Rogue eventually wants to become a hero and joins Professor X's academy, and they just let her because he can help her control her powers, and they know it's for the best. And the original story, but with Nightcrawler being Mystique's son, is Mystique had a baby and found out it was blue and threw it off of a cliff.
Mystique sees her baby and is like, "Why are you blue?"
Well, it has nothing to do with the fact that
she's blue.
So, in the 2000s, it was retconned that Mystique had the baby with a demon named Azazel.
Which was the worst.
It was the worst thing
Marvel
because
ever did.
the big thing about Nightcrawler is he looks like a demon, but deep down he's just a human who wants to be respected.
Yeah.
And
in this they were like, just kidding,
just
he
kidding,
is a demon. Just kidding, he is a demon.
And so
demon is attitude.
last year,
genetics.
So last year,
they retconned it again.
They retconned it again to where Mystique and Destiny are both his mothers. Mystique faked a pregnancy and got Destiny pregnant, shapeshifting into a man, getting her pregnant, and they have the baby, and her husband finds out that she's not really pregnant, that she's a shapeshifter and a mutant, and they find out that Mystique and Destiny pretty much kill everyone involved, and Destiny is like, we have to abandon this kid. I'm sorry, we can't keep him right now. We're getting chased. We're gonna get killed. We have to leave him somewhere. So Mystique hides him in a tree stump, and they both run away in their own separate ways. They both go on their own separate ways, and Mystique tries to come back, and by the time she comes back, Nightcrawler's gone.
So the retcon is that they're really good evil mothers.
And Mystique is wrecked by this, that she abandoned her son, and let Destiny let her hide the kid. And Destiny is a precog, so she kind of knew what would happen and knew that this would be the best. And Mystique and Destiny end up going to Charles Xavier, and Charles Xavier wipes their minds and changes Mystique's memory to throwing him off of a cliff. And
they brought it back for us. It made sense.
So after a traumatic event, she remembers that Nightcrawler is her baby, and she loves him, and she regrets all of this. Now she remembers, and her and Nightcrawler have a very sweet, touching moment. In the comics, the main maternal figure for Nightcrawler is Mystique, and the main maternal figure for Rogue is Destiny. So those are Mystique and Destiny.
So they have two children, an adoptive one and a birth one. And I do want to remind you, before you rank them higher than any of my mothers, they were retconned into being good mothers. They didn't start off good. They were retconned into good.
I'm not thinking they're oh so
I'm
fabulous.
just letting you know.
Okay.
Marvel considered the best moms on the planet, but we remember what Mystique did originally.
This one, if you look at it from afar, she seems like a bad mom. She is one of my favorite moms. She's very complex. She's had a hard time, and this is Madeline Pryor.
who I just want to peek behind the curtain. Our mom literally said, I have my least favorite mom, who I think is the most evil, horrible mom. And it's Madeline Pryor. And Connor was like, I love Madeline Pryor. And Mom was like, she's the worst mom I have ever known in any comic book.
I wrote like a 2-page paragraph for each mom.
Connor wrote a college essay about...
I wrote about a page and a half on Madeline Pryor because I need to just vent.
Connor saw this prompt of writing down about doing research about the Marvel moms, and Connor was like, in this essay, I will, about Madison Pryor.
So I was looking at a bunch of lists, and Jean Grey kept popping up, and I was like, this is ridiculous, it's slander on Madeline's name. So I gotta bring Madeline into this.
Sorry, I hate Jean Grey too, so, you know.
Jean Grey's a fucking queen, I love.
Okay. Yeah, like, Scott Summers just loves crazy women.
So Jean becomes
If you're
Phoenix.
gonna be funny, you have to be loud about it.
All right, I think Scott Summers is a whiny baby boy. That's what
He
I said.
is.
I was gonna say this is the defamation hour of Scott Summers.
Scott Summers. No, he sucks ass. He is white boy. I will say this: X-Men '97 kind of made him cool, and I will not lie. But normally he sucks ass. And here is the thing: he loves crazy bitches. I don't think that telepaths that he has anything special. I think telepaths who are crazy bitches can be like, he loves crazy bitches. Because he not only does he date Madeline and Jean Grey, he also dates Emma Frost.
He dates Madeline because she's
I know.
Okay.
But she's crazy, and so is Jean, and he also dates Emma Frost, who again is crazy.
So, Jean Grey becomes Phoenix, sacrifices herself, and dies on the moon. Scott is destroyed. He goes on a few dates with some women.
I wish he was physically.
He goes on some dates. He meets this pilot named Madeline Pryor. They go on a bunch of dates. She looks eerily similar to Jean Grey.
I have to say, because I know in the TV show it's different, but I have to say this. If Ryan, my husband, died, and I was so broken up about it, and then I meet a person who looks exactly like Ryan, the last thing I would do is be like, I gotta date him.
Yeah.
I gotta date him. This person looks just like my husband, who just died.
Well, because
what a
he's
perfect
a horrible, awful,
coincidence.
whiny baby
Because he's
boy.
horrible.
He's like, ooh, just would place her with this one. It's the
So-
same person.
So,
I'm Scott Summers.
he falls in love with Madeline.
Uh-huh.
They get married. She ends up getting pregnant. And then all of a sudden, Jean Grey comes back from the dead.
And then he's like, bye-bye, Madeline, because I have my original...
And
crazy wife
Jean
that I-
Grey and the original X-Men start a new team called X Factor.
Real quick, Scott Summers doesn't care who he dates as long as it looks like Jean and is crazy.
To be fair, Madeline's very normal in the beginning.
Sure, Connor, tell him what she does, and we'll decide how normal and good she is.
So,
yeah, knock Mom's drink over all of the sound equipment to make the big... No, you didn't do anything.
sorry. So, they get married. She gets pregnant.
What if I'm just like...
Quinn! So, she gets pregnant. Jean starts X Factor. She doesn't know about Madeline. Scott leaves Madeline and her baby. They have the baby.
And their baby. Let's not let Scott Summer get off scot-free on this. Their baby.
He leaves
No,
Madeline
that's
and
why
their
it's
baby.
called Scot-free. That's what happened. He just
Right.
got to leave.
So he leaves Madeline.
If we do this for Father's Day, Scott Summers is not getting off easy. He's not even getting off easy in this Mother's Day episode.
No, I got a way
He's not
better
gonna
father
get.
than Scott Summers. I fucking...
We all have better
No,
fathers.
Scott
We have a
Summers'
better
dad.
father than
Scott Summers'
Summers.
dad is like OP. I love Scott Summers' dad. Anyway,
It's like,
He
even we
leaves.
have a better father than
he
Scott
leaves.
Not
Madeline
anymore.
immediately gets hunted down and murdered, quote unquote killed. She wakes up in the hospital as a Jane Doe and is like, shit, where's my baby? And The baby is
Okay,
missing.
she doesn't remember who she is. And
No, she remembers who she is.
Well, you said she works as a Jane Doe.
As a Jane
the
Doe,
hospital
the hospital
doesn't
doesn't know
know
who she is. No one knows who she is because they think Madeline died. So she goes to the hospital as Jane Doe. She wakes up and is like, "Where's my baby? Holy shit!" She contacts the X-Men, who's separate from X Factor, so Scott's on his own thing. She contacts the X-Men. They're helping her find her baby. She kind of hangs around with the X-Men for a little bit. Then all of the X-Men and Madeline Pryor sacrifice their lives to save the world. Madeline goes on TV right before they cast a spell to sacrifice their lives to complete a spell to save the world. And she's like, "Scott, find our baby. I'm alive. He's alive. We have proof he's alive. Find our baby." They all die. Then they get resurrected immediately.
As the X-Men do.
And they're like, "We're going to go incognito and go hiding in Australia and be vigilantes in Australia and just let everyone think we're dead." So at this time, they're fighting. They're constantly getting attacked by the Reavers and all these things. And Madeline, some way or another, finds out that she has a little bit of telepathy. Then she finds out that she is Jean Grey's clone. She's real upset that she's not her own woman.
That took a long time to find out.
It took a while.
And I'm assuming during this, after she begged for Scott to find their son, that he still isn't finding their son.
No.
God, I fucking hate Scott so much.
Well, and you figure that he's got to know. He's got to know.
That they're clones, right. It's like so obvious that they're clones.
So she finds out that she's a clone.
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes to bed one night and has a dream with a demon. And the demon's like, "Don't you want to go ape shit? Like, don't you want to lose your shit? Like, you've gone through a lot." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever, I guess. Fuck off." And he's like, "Give me your soul, and I'll give you like all the powers you want." And she's like, "Joke's on you, I'm a clone, I don't have a soul." And she's like, "Fine, take it, whatever." Because she's like, "I don't have a soul. You can't do anything with it. You can't corrupt me. I don't have a soul." Turns out clones have souls.
Yeah.
And
I love that energy, though. Honestly, I feel
she's
like
what
if I
fucking
was
worse
having,
could happen?
There's still people.
if I was having a hard time and a demon came in my sleep and was like, "Don't," like, if I was in the wit and a demon came in and was like, "What is that, like sweet butter?" Immediately, yes. If I was Madeline and she just kind of jokingly did it, I'll tell you this, Mom. Obviously, she was kind of like, "Sure, whatever." I would wholeheartedly be like, "Yes, please. Thank you."
So in the interim, Scott and Jean find baby Nathan.
Oh, finally? He finally got up to
They
do
find
something?
baby Nathan.
Oh,
Madeline,
was he just like sitting under their shoe? Was it that easy to find him? Did they just stumble upon him? I'm sorry, this isn't about Scott. I hate him so much.
Madeline.
Well, not only that, but then did G. Grey just step in and be like, "I'm your mom."
Yeah,
So
apparently.
just wait. Madeline kidnaps baby Nathan and is like, "Fuck the world, fuck this, hell on earth time. I'm going to sacrifice this baby to end the world." And they're all fighting with Madeline. A lot of the X-Men are getting corrupted by Hell and Limbo. And Madeline finally comes to her senses and kills herself to save her baby and end the Inferno.
And don't forget, during this, she chooses the worst name ever.
The Goblin Queen.
Goblin Queen.
Well, not only that, but, you said, oh, she kidnapped her child. Well, what, is she the non-custodial parent or something?
Yes, she takes her baby back.
Okay, I'm sorry. When you don't have a soul, I think that makes you
no, she has a soul.
No, she has a soul. Well, I guess she gave it away.
She corrupts it. She corrupts her soul.
So I think, I'm a lawyer baby right now. When you have a corrupted soul and you sell your soul to a demon, you automatically are the non-custodial parent. I just feel like she must have been like when I was watching the show and Goblin Queen showed up, it very much had the vibes of like, "Call me," and in her mind she's like, "Don't say Goblin Queen. That was like first try. Don't do that one. That one's stupid. Don't say Goblin Queen. Don't say Goblin Queen. Goblin Queen. Oh fuck! Now that one's gonna stick. They're not gonna let me pick a different one."
So she dies.
Yeah,
And
she flips from killing my child to, oh well, I might as well just
Actually,
I might as
never
well
mind.
just
okay,
kill
a lot of
myself.
spells in the Marvel universe, the axis of attaining the spell is sacrificing a baby. There's a lot of baby sacrifices in the Marvel universe. None of them really stick.
Woo!
None of them really stick. Most of the babies get saved. So
My point is no parent that is a good parent is going to be like,
Even if you sell your soul to the devil?
Let's just destroy this baby to get what I want. Well, she went to all that trouble to get the baby back in the first place, and now she's going to be like,
yes.
But she sold her soul, though, so her soul is corrupted.
So
I'll give her that.
then, immediately after she dies, all of her memories go to Jean Grey. And Jean Grey's like,
oh,
I guess I'm Madeline
good
now.
Lord.
That's my baby. I remember giving birth to him.
Of course.
And everyone's just like, yep, that's her kid. And they kind of just
Like,
forget
fuck
about
the
Madeline
X-Men
for a
this.
while.
Fuck the X-Men for this, 100%.
She comes back a few times, but she...
And they're like, who are you again?
She comes back full force in the Krakoa era. She gets resurrected. Big deal. Make a big deal of it.
Like separately from Jean Grey?
Yes.
Okay.
She comes back as her own woman.
At least she gets to be a person.
She realizes that the Goblin Queen is part of her, and she ends up making a deal with Ilyana, who is the ruler of Limbo, and she takes over she's now the Queen of Limbo. And she ends up teaming up with Spider-Man's clone, Ben Reilly, and they end up kidnapping Jean Grey and Spider-Man because they want their memories back. And
Reasonable. I think that's reasonable.
And Ben's like, I want to wipe your mind and take my memories back. And Madeline's like, yeah, I want my memories back too, whatever. And Jean's like, yeah, I'm a telepath. I'll just give you all the memories of, like, raising Nathan. Like, go ahead. Here you go. And she gets all the memories, and she's like, okay, no more hell on earth again. Let's fix this. And she fixes everything, stops evil Spider-Man, and ever since then...
Hey, real quick. So Jean was like, I'm a telepath, so I can just give you your memories. But she couldn't do that for Ben?
Spider-Man really didn't want to.
Well, this feels like a Spider-Man-Ben problem then.
Yeah.
Well, and not only that, but
if she could just take out the memories and give them to them, would they have to stop him from being evil because Spider-Man doesn't want to share his memories?
It's a lot.
I think your dog's gonna jump.
So, now in the comics, Madeline and Jean are both Nathan's mom. And Madeline and Jean refer to each other as sisters. And yeah, Quinn's eye rolling.
I'm sorry.
I think it's sweet. If you read the comic,
it's great.
It's very sweet.
I think that it sounds like they're bipolar and they need medication.
That's why Scott loves them.
We got Jean Grey, who's also Phoenix. Then we got Madeline, who's also Goblin Queen. It sounds like a whole lot of crazy going on.
Oh my god. Sorry,
Dog
Connor's jumped us.
Connor's jumped his dog.
Sounds like wrong dog in here.
Nope.
Ass.
No kisses.
So, alright, that's Madeline Pryor.
Your favorite mom. Okay, let me take the dog. Oh, sorry. Mom has hand surgery, so her arm's fucked up. Don't hurt her arm.
Here's Madeline Pryor. Final mom is Jubilation Lee.
Okay, I love her.
Jubilee. She ends
We
up...
all know we love her since I have the dog.
Yes,
Famous
Quinn's dog is
after
named Jubilee.
Famous dog. Jubilee.
So, Jubilee is on a mission, and in the wreckage, in the rubble, she sees a baby and takes it in. And she ends up adopting this baby and names him Shogo. And
he goes crazy because that ridiculous name she just had to give him.
no.
He's like, what were you thinking? Couldn't somebody else have found me in the rubble?
To be fair, she's like 19.
She's a teen
At least
mom.
she didn't name the kid like Hot Pocket or something. So
I don't know. Her name's the kid Jubilation Lee. Another famously bad name for a human person.
So she has the kid. She adopts him. Later on, future her and future Shogo come back, and he's like, "You're a great mom, love you." He's a human.
Okay, real quick. Mom has put Jubilee first, doesn't he? Since canonly,
So
Shogo's like, "You're the perfect mom ever, and I love you."
So then, eventually, Shogo's dad shows up, and he's a little evil. He's like, "That's my son, give him back." And Jubilee's like, "Ew, no," and just kind of keeps
too
it.
little, too late, dude.
She just kind of keeps it. And it's like, you can't have your kid back. Fuck you.
He told me I was a good mom. He came back to States though. I'm keeping him.
So now, after a journey into Otherworld, which is a mystical fairyland, Shogo used his childlike imagination to turn himself into a dragon. So whenever he is in Otherworld, he is a big dragon that they all ride on like Falcor in the Neverending Story.
So Jubilee has a son that turns into a dragon.
Yes, Jubilee has a dragon son.
And okay, so I know this has nothing to do with her being a mom, but I do want to make it clear she's also a vampire at this time, isn't
Yes,
she?
when she adopts Shogo, I'm pretty sure she's a vampire.
Yeah.
Or
so
right after she becomes a vampire.
So vampire mother with dragon baby.
She's not a vampire when he becomes a dragon.
Okay. But she has been a vampire
I'm
before.
still okay with this.
Okay.
So that's all the moms. You have every mom. You can now rank the moms.
All right. Am I ranking them?
Go from worst to best.
Okay. Am I ranking them separately
Overall.
as DC and
No,
Marvel, or
overall.
they actually have to be okay?
Overall. So just worst mom to best mom.
I know I didn't do good on Madeline Pryor.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Madeline Pryor is still like my least favorite mom. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
So Goblin Queen.
Number 10, we got Goblin Queen.
Talia Al Ghul. There you go.
Perfect. Number 9 is Talia al Ghul. Bad mom. Famously bad mom.
Again, Mystique. Sorry.
That
Makes
was.
me
I am
so
shocked they're in
mad.
7th. You gotta read X-Men Blue Origins. I got all you borrow my copy.
We next time we have mom on, we can recap it for her.
Yes.
All right, I can't leave them together though.
They're
gonna have to be
together,
separate.
Mom. The Marthas are together. Martha Kane and Martha Kent are.
Fine.
Martha Wayne and Martha Kent are together.
Fine. Then our next least favorite one is gotta have to be the Dinah Lance bullshit.
Debacle. Yeah.
I was gonna say I can't believe
I'm glad my
That
girl.
one's gonna be like right in the middle because it's more so.
I can't believe Dinah / Laurel, I'm my own mom, is above Mystique and
But
Destiny.
the thing is that they're not actually a bad mom.
Then
They're
they
just
get to be a mom.
confusing, weird mom.
Amalgamation mom.
It's kind of like I don't understand this, and can you really be a mom with what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Right.
So
DC messed up their continuity and made a mom not mom, and they should have just left it be.
alrighty, let's see. So we've
An
got.
amalgamation.
All right, I'm gonna go with Crystal next.
Yeah. Fair.
So that's 6.
Yep.
Then it's definitely gonna be Mira. You know, she could have done things better. Hers is a little more of a tragic mom,
Yeah.
but still, tragedy doesn't excuse some of the behaviors. And then I'm gonna have to put this kind of, I'm considering it in the middle, even though it's a little higher than the middle. But I'm sorry, Martha Wayne is an idiot, and she is the worst mom ever.
She's bringing down the curve of Martha Kent.
Yes. Yes, Martha Kent should have been like right up at the top there, but Martha Wayne she's pulling.
The
her
reason
down.
I put them together, 1 is because it's funny. 2 is because I hate to say it. I know Martha Kent is like a good mom for the most part, but she's so generic. She doesn't do anything. They're both kind of like generic moms of the 2 most famous superheroes in DC Comics, and that's all they are for the most part.
Then we got Jubilee.
Okay.
And what is she?
Number 3.
Number 3. See, you still got Martha
And then I'm gonna say Sue Storm because she wasn't just a mom of one. She was a mom of many.
Yes.
And I really think she stepped up, and really got the whole Fantastic Four together, and organized the group by being that motherly figure that they needed to take care of them because they could not take care of themselves.
Yes.
And then Lois Lane. Lois Lane would have to be number one in this list of moms because I had to lump Martha and Martha, and Wade together. I'm sorry.
Lois Lane's kind of just like Martha Kent. And she's a good mom.
Yes, I know. But I would have much preferred to put, sweet,
mom?
yeah, Martha
Lois
Kent
Lane's
up
really
there.
sweet and nice.
Yeah, but I feel like Martha Kent should have been above Lois Lane, and Martha Wayne should have been below the
ruined the
Dinah debacle.
Sorry, I ruined the curve.
All right.
Dinah debacle.
Yeah, they really screwed up.
That is the definitive list.
Yeah, no notes.
No
Perfect.
notes.
Nobody. That's objective.
We're not gonna piss anyone off with the Madeline Pryor and Mystique and Destiny of it all.
No one's allowed to be mad. We don't want anyone to be mad about it because it's her mom and we love her and you can't be mad.
She's your mom now too.
She's your mom. She's the comic book mom. She's the comic book mom for the Comic Connection podcast, and she made the list of the perfect moms and the worst moms.
Madeline Pryor.
She's below Talia al Ghul. I want you to understand that. Talia al Ghul doesn't
raised
even
an
really
assassin baby and then was like, you know what, I'm done. Here you go,
She
Bruce.
barely. It's not even that she was done. It was like like trying to get something else out of it. Like Talia is just like plain evil forever. There isn't even any like. I guess the trauma of being raised by Ra's al Ghul, you can say, but Madeline at least has some like comic book drama in there. Yeah. And Talia is just kind of like, I'm evil because I'm supposed to be.
I guess when you try to sacrifice a baby one time, it ruins
you do one baby sacrifice. Okay, what do we do next week?
Well, that whole bipolar allowing herself to be non-medicated. How many personalities are we allowed to have before we finally go in for counseling?
At least 2. All right, what do we do next week?
Okay, so next week, we, if the scheduling is right, we will have our brother on to discuss some famously bad comics. We are covering Chuck Austen's Uncanny X-Men. We are covering his arc, The Draco, which is the Nightcrawler's the Demon arc, by the way.
The worst one.
And then...
Mom's like, thank God I'm not on this episode.
And then the next set in the series, which is She Lies with Angels. And I'll tell you about that off the podcast, but it's also insane.
Because you guys will learn about it next week. You guys will
learn about it next week.
With Darian, our brother.
In other words, I need to do a guest appearance on that one with the comic that I shred right in front of the camera.
No, those are hard to get comics.
This is what should happen to Nightcrawler's, ridiculous becoming a demon.
Those comics are one of the very few that are not on Marvel Unlimited. They're
trying to bury it.
They're that.
It's the song of the South of Marvel.
They've only been printed in trade paperback one time in the 2000s when they came out. They've never been reprinted.
You know why?
They've
never
been
because
collected.
They realized they'd made a big mistake.
And to be fair, Chuck Austen quit. He didn't get fired. So that's good for him.
So he likes to say.
And he went on to have a great career after that.
We do like Chuck Austen.
I love Chuck Austen.
We like him, even though he made a mistake.
He made some crazy decisions.
Maybe somebody else storyboarded that for him, and he just had to.
All his ideas.
Wow. See, I'm trying to make up an excuse, and you're like not even going to let him have it.
He's like,
come here.
Let's have
No, the only excuses Connor's okay with is if you sell your soul and you can kill your baby. All right. So we're excited.
Your comics.
We're excited for next week. Jared will be on the podcast. We'll give him some crazy shit to talk about. So thank you for joining us for our Mother's Day special. We hope you had as much fun as we did. Well, that's my life. Hope you had fun, because I know I did.
And if you have any comments you would like us to cover on the podcast, please comment in the show notes. Or also in the show notes is our email and all of our social medias. So please feel free to reach out and comment what you'd like us to read.
Yep.
That's it for us. We will see you next week.